What's up guys, it's Rowan here from Smart TV. And one of the things that schools are increasingly doing for English and for other subjects is they're doing assessments that are delivered by oral presentation. So in other words, you've got to give a speech. And the reality is, if you can speak confidently and effectively, what you're going to find is that your marks are going to be so much higher, regardless of whether you've got brilliant content or not. Don't get me wrong. Content's important, but your ability to present and communicate powerfully through a speech is going to help you improve your results, not just at school, but the reality is throughout the rest of your career. In fact, the ability to present confidently actually results in a pay increase on average of just on $8,500 per year for recent university graduates. So, not only are you going to do better at school, you're also going to do better at your career. So what I'm going to look at in this video is some practical strategies that you can use, super simple, that will make a huge difference in helping you nail your school oral presentation and develop your public speaking skills for life beyond school. So strategy number one. The most simple thing that you can do is actually look at your stance when you come to deliver a presentation. Often what happens is when students stand to deliver a presentation, the stance is really poor and their feet are really close together. And what this means is that you end up wiggling and all of these like nervous gestures, and these look horrible. They can be incredibly distracting. In fact, you've probably seen someone deliver a speech and they've just done this little dance throughout the entire presentation, and all you could look at was their dance and their feet and not the actual presentation. So the suggestion here is really, really simple. I want you to pretend that you're Wonder Woman. I know that sounds weird. Walk onto the stage and get your feet roughly shoulder width apart. Really, really important because it's going to actually root you into the ground so you've got a strong stance. It's much harder now to move around and wiggle. It's going to really help you be able to present effectively. That's the first thing. When you walk onto that stage to present your speech at school, I want you to think about where are my feet and I am Wonder Woman, right? Get on there, stand tall and strong and have your feet shoulder width apart, and then start delivering your presentation. So the next strategy that you can use to be a more effective public speaker is pace. So how quickly you're speaking. So one of the things I find is that because you're nervous, when you get onto that stage, the first thing that you want to do is speak really quickly, and everything's got to come at the same time, and you might feel you're speaking slowly, but the rest of the room is like, whoa, what on earth is happening? So you need to be able to slow your pace down and use pauses effectively. And there's a really simple way that you can use pauses effectively. I want you to get your speech out and identify what are some key areas on the speech that you think pausing and slowing down is going to be important as a reminder for you. So note what I did there was I paused, of course. But one of the things that you can do to work out how long you should pause for is to count for 3 seconds. Because often it's going to feel like you're pausing for such a long period of time. But the reality is, for the rest of the audience in the room, it's going to go like that. So to help you pause for long enough, when you pause, I want you to count in your head 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds and then continue going on. So really simple, you've got to get your pacing right when you deliver, and one of the things that you can do is mark out in your speech when you're going to pause, and then what you're going to do is you're going to identify that you're going to pause for 3 seconds and count to 3. So unless you've got an incredible memory, you're not going to be delivering your speech without some form of notes. Now, using notes is okay. You can deliver fantastic speeches with notes, but often what happens in a lot of speeches at school is that, the notes become a crutch. And so what ends up happening is that, a student, you'll walk out onto the stage, and then what will end up happening is you'll read the notes. So this is what needs to happen, and then what also needs to happen is this, and then I'm going to read some more, and then I'm going to occasionally look up, but I'm going to be mainly reading and then look up every now and then, but really I'm reading. And reality is that's not a great use of notes. It's not a great use of notes because what you're really doing is reading and getting lost in what you're reading and not maintaining eye contact with the audience around you. So a really simple thing that you can do, and when you're using notes, is that you want to use them as a way to let you know what you need, but then to be able to come back and make eye contact with the audience. So the suggestion I have is, with your speech notes, I want you to go through them, I want you to pick up a pen, and at every point you think it's going to be really important to look at the audience to build eye contact, I want you to make a little mark. A little mark so that if you are reading your notes and you see that little dot appear, it's a reminder to you to go, I better look up and make some eye contact with the audience. So put these marks throughout your entire speech. It'll make it really easy for you to look up and then continue to go back to find where you're at. But it'll help you build more eye contact when you're delivering a presentation using notes, instead of just having head stuck in and not actually building any rapport or connection with your audience. So the final point is that most of the time when people deliver speeches, they speak really quietly and no one can hear them. Right, so vocal projection's really, really important. So you need to make sure that people at the back of the room can still hear you. So the way that you do this is you've actually got to overcompensate, because you're going to think you're speaking really, really loud, and I promise you, you're not. You know, what's going to be happening is the nerves are going to get to you and you're actually going to be speaking quieter than you think. So one of the ways that you can do this before going out to deliver a speech is actually go to the toilet, go to like the back oval somewhere at school, and I want you to just shout. The whole point of this is to just go crazy and go extreme for a moment, stretch the comfort zone, because then when you come back in to deliver your speech, you're going to find that your volume actually naturally has got a little bit louder, because that's what you were just doing before. And you're sort of borrowing some of that and bringing it into your speech. So it's a really great way to really trick yourself into speaking more loudly in your presentation and having better vocal projection. So what I've given you today, guys, is 4 strategies that you can use to significantly improve your ability to deliver amazing oral presentations. We've looked at stance and the Wonder Woman pose. We've looked at pacing and the ability to slow down what you're saying. We've looked at vocal projection, and we've looked at eye contact and use of notes. If you can nail these 4 strategies, your ability to present confidently is going to improve dramatically. You're going to get better results at school in your oral presentations, but you're also going to be laying a really strong foundation for life beyond school. If you have more questions about how to develop your public speaking skills, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to help. Number 2, subscribe for more videos. We're bringing videos to you each week. So hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell to get notified. And finally, if you think I want to learn even more about public speaking, I encourage you to research a global not-for-profit organization called Toastmasters. They're incredible at helping people develop their public speaking skills, and while they're only available for people over 18, you can invite them into your school to run programs for you and your peers. So, might be something to look at. Check the link below in the description for more information. I'll see you next week.